It was the year 2487, and Earth had changed. The cities were taller, brighter, and stronger than ever before. Humanity had reached the stars and built colonies around nearby planets. People believed nothing could stop them now. But far beyond the known space, something ancient was watching. They were not just aliens. They were something far worse. The first contact was not peaceful. A massive alien ship appeared near Jupiter without warning. It was larger than any human vessel, black as night, covered in strange red symbols that glowed like fire. The ship sent no message, no signal, only silence. The United Earth Fleet surrounded it, waiting for a response. Then everything went dark. All systems, all communication, dead in seconds. And from the alien ship, small capsules began to fall toward Earth. When the capsules landed, the ground cracked open. From inside came creatures that no one had ever seen before. They were not machines, not pure aliens. They looked like demons from ancient myths. Horns, claws, wings of smoke. People screamed, soldiers fired, but the bullets did nothing. Cities started burning within hours. Governments fell silent. Fear spread faster than the flames. In the chaos, humanity's greatest minds came together. Scientists, soldiers, and hackers gathered inside the underground base of New Geneva. The commander, General Elena Brooks, stood before them. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed fear. She said the truth no one wanted to hear. These creatures were not from this universe. The aliens had opened something, a gate to another realm. The demons were not biological beings. They were made of energy, pure dark matter, feeding on fear and destruction. Outside, the world turned into a battlefield. The aliens did not attack directly. They watched, waiting, testing. Human forces tried every weapon, plasma guns, orbital strikes, even nuclear warheads. Nothing worked for long. The demons adapted, their bodies shifting with each hit. Humanity was losing, and fast. In the middle of this chaos, a young engineer named Aaron Malik made a discovery. He noticed that the demons reacted strangely to human emotions. When people united, when they refused to run, the creatures seemed to weaken. Aaron shared his findings with General Brooks. She ordered him to test it. A group of soldiers stood their ground in New Berlin, refusing to retreat. As they fought together, something strange happened. The demons slowed down. Their bodies flickered. For the first time, humans won a small victory. The news spread across the shattered networks. Hope returned, small but real. Humanity realized something. The aliens had made a mistake. They thought humans would fall apart when facing fear. They didn't know what humans could do when they had nothing left to lose, but the aliens were not done. Above the clouds, their ship began to move again. It opened like a black flower, and thousands more capsules prepared to launch. The sky turned red. Earth trembled. General Brooks looked at the horizon and said one line that would be remembered for centuries. If they brought demons, we'll show them what real humans are. The human resistance was born. Every remaining army, every scientist, every survivor came together. The plan was simple, but impossible. Find where the aliens came from. Close the gate. End the war. Humanity had no idea what awaited them beyond the stars. But one thing was clear. This was not just a fight for survival. It was a fight for the soul of mankind, as the first human warship launched from the ruins of Earth. Aaron looked out the window. The blue planet was burning below, yet he smiled. Not because he was fearless, but because he knew one truth. Humans were strange creatures. They cried, they bled, they broke, but they always stood back up. The engines roared. The ship vanished into the darkness of space. Somewhere out there, the aliens waited with their demons. But humanity was coming, and this time they were not afraid. The first human warship, Eden Spear, moved through the Black Sea of space. Inside, silence filled the corridors, except for the low hum of the engines. Every soldier knew the mission was close to suicide, but no one turned back. Humanity had never faced anything like this. Still, they refused to kneel. General Elena Brooks stood on the command deck. Her uniform was torn, her eyes tired, but her will unbroken. Aaron Malik stood beside her, studying the strange readings on the ship's monitors. The alien energy signal was ahead, near a region of space humans had never entered before. They called it the Red Zone, a place filled with strange storms and dead signals. No ship that entered had ever returned. As Eden's spear moved closer, space itself seemed to twist. Clouds of red lightning spread across the stars, and time felt slower. The crew felt pressure inside their heads, like whispers trying to break their thoughts. Some soldiers started shaking. One screamed that he saw shadows crawling on the walls. General Brooks ordered everyone to focus. The ship's shields flickered, and strange symbols appeared on the hull, the same red marks seen on the alien ship near Jupiter. Aaron realized something. The symbols were alive. They were not paint or metal. They were energy, moving like veins under the surface. He used his scanner and found the source. The symbols were reacting to human fear. The more scared the crew became, the stronger the marks glowed. He rushed to the bridge. "They're feeding on us," he said. "The ship itself is using our fear." General Brooks nodded slowly. "Then we stop giving it what it wants." She ordered the ship's AI to play recordings from Earth, laughter, music, the sound of children, oceans, and wind. Slowly, the whispers began to fade. The red light dimmed. Humanity's will was pushing back again. The Eden Spear continued deeper into the red zone. Hours later, the sensors picked up something massive ahead. A black planet surrounded by floating debris and glowing red gates. This was where the aliens had come from. But what shocked everyone was what they saw on the surface. Human cities. Or at least, ruins that looked human. Towers, roads, even old Earth symbols. It was impossible. Humanity had never been there. Aaron studied the ruins with wide eyes. "General, these aren't alien structures. They were built by humans, or something that looks like us." Before anyone could respond, the ship was hit by a beam of red energy. The lights went out. Emergency alarms screamed. From the shadows outside, smaller alien ships appeared, fast and sharp like blades. They surrounded Eden Spear. The defense guns fired, but the enemy moved like smoke. One by one, the outer turrets went offline. General Brooks gave the order. "Launch counter-drones. Bring the plasma shields to full." The ship shook violently. The crew held their ground. Then the main screen flickered, and a face appeared. It was not human. It had black eyes, gray skin, and horns like stone. Its voice was calm, but filled with hate. "You came here to fight the gods of your kind. Do you even know who we are?" Brooks stared at the image. "You're the ones who brought the demons. That's all I need to know." The alien smiled. "No, we did not bring them." "You did." The words hit like a storm. The crew froze. Aaron's mind raced. What did that mean? The alien continued, "Long before your Earth, your ancestors opened the first gate. You were the first to call them. We only returned what you once released." The signal ended. Outside, the alien fleet opened fire again. Explosions tore through the ship. Aaron grabbed the controls of the engineering station and rerouted power to the engines. The Eden Spear dived toward the black planet, escaping the enemy fire. The ship entered the atmosphere, burning through clouds of red smoke. Lightning cracked around them. Below, the ground was covered in moving shadows. Thousands of demons marched under alien command. Humanity's oldest sins had come back to life. As the ship crashed into the ground, Aaron held tight. The impact shook everything, but somehow they survived. Dust filled the air. General Brooks stood, blood on her face, and looked outside the shattered window. In the distance, a massive dark tower reached into the sky. At its top, a glowing red gate pulsed with energy. That was the source. That was the heart of it all, Brooks whispered. If that gate opened once, it can be closed. And as the smoke cleared, humanity prepared to fight not just for survival, but for redemption. The crash left the Eden spear broken, its hull buried deep in black sand. Smoke rose from the wreck, painting the red sky in darker shades. The surviving crew gathered near the shattered entrance, their suits covered in dust. Some coughed, some prayed quietly, but all stood ready. Humanity had reached the alien world. There was no turning back. General Elena Brooks looked at the horizon through her cracked visor. The dark tower stood like a blade piercing the sky, surrounded by moving shadows. That was where the gate pulsed with red energy. She knew that if they could reach it, they might find a way to close it forever. But the journey would not be easy. The air itself felt heavy, filled with whispers and strange lights. Aaron Malik checked his scanner and frowned. "The air isn't toxic," he said, "but the energy here is strange. It's reacting to our presence. Almost like it knows we're here." As they moved forward, the ground beneath their boots vibrated softly. Ruins stretched across the land, broken buildings that looked too human to be alien. Old Earth markings appeared on the walls, symbols from lost civilizations. There were carvings showing humans kneeling before red lights in the sky. Worshipping something they could not understand, Aaron stopped near one of the walls and brushed the dust away. "These aren't new," he whispered. "They're thousands of years old. Maybe older than Earth's recorded history." A soldier beside him asked, "Are you saying humans were here before?" Aaron hesitated. "Or maybe. Something like us was." Team continued moving, cautious and silent. Above them, the sky burned with red storms. Every few minutes, a shadow passed overhead. Alien patrol drones, scanning the ground. The humans hid whenever the red light swept near, their hearts racing. Hours later, they reached a canyon filled with broken statues. Each statue had a face twisted in pain, as if carved from living stone. At the center of the canyon was a glowing black pool. The soldiers pointed their weapons, but General Brooks raised her hand. "Wait," she said. "Listen." The pool was whispering, voices in hundreds of languages, all saying the same word. "Return." Aaron stepped closer, scanning the pool. The readings were wild. The energy came from the same source as the demons. He looked up at Brooks. "This place is feeding the gate. It's alive." Before she could respond, the ground cracked open. A creature rose from the pool, tall and terrifying, with a body of smoke and eyes like molten fire. It spoke with a voice that shook the canyon. "You should not have come here. You bring the curse that once destroyed your kind." The soldiers opened fire, plasma bolts cutting through the red air. The creature screamed but did not fall. It moved faster than sight, slashing through the squad. 3 men fell instantly. General Brooks grabbed a pulse grenade and threw it. The explosion of blue light tore through the demon's chest. For a moment, it froze, flickering like a dying flame. Aaron shouted, "Now." "Hit it again." The team unleashed another volley. The creature dissolved into black dust that vanished in the wind. The silence afterward was heavy. The survivors stood shaking. One of the soldiers whispered, "If that was just one, how do we face an army of them?" Brooks looked toward the tower, by remembering what they fear most. Us. They continued through the canyon, following the glowing trail of energy leading to the tower. Along the way, Aaron picked up strange readings again, human DNA traces. Someone or something human had been here recently. That made no sense. As they reached the tower's base, they saw massive alien machines surrounding the gate. Thousands of demons marched around it, protecting something at the center. In the middle of the red light stood a figure, human in shape, wearing a dark exosuit. The scanners confirmed it. It was a human signal. Aaron stared at the image. "General, there's a human down there." "Ah!" Brooks narrowed her eyes. "Then we find out who they are, and why they're standing with the enemy." The team prepared their weapons. The tower's hum grew louder, shaking the ground. Lightning arced across the sky. Somewhere inside that structure was the truth about the demons, the aliens, and humanity's forgotten past as they entered the shadow of the tower. Aaron whispered, "If humans caused this once, maybe we're the only ones who can end it." The gate pulsed again. casting their shadows long across the red ground, a small group of humans walking straight into the heart of darkness. Inside the tower, the air was thick with smoke and red light. The walls were alive, pulsing like veins carrying dark energy. Each step echoed through the massive structure, followed by faint whispers that grew louder the deeper they went. The team moved cautiously, their flashlights cutting through the mist. General Elena Brooks led the way, her weapon ready. Behind her, Aaron Malik carried the energy scanner, which was going wild with readings. The tower's energy levels were far beyond anything human technology could measure. It was as if they were walking inside a living creature. "Stay close," Brooks ordered. "This place is watching us." As they climbed a long spiral corridor, they reached a large chamber. In its center floated a massive sphere of black light, spinning slowly. Around it stood several alien figures, tall and silent, their faces hidden behind armor. But what caught everyone's attention was the figure standing among them, human, wearing a dark exosuit with glowing red lines. Aaron froze. "That's impossible," he whispered. The figure turned slowly, removing the helmet. It was a man, pale, scarred, with cold gray eyes. "Welcome," he said softly. "You've come a long way to reach me." General Brooks raised her rifle. "Who are you? And why are you working with them?" The man smiled faintly. "My name is Dr. Adrian Voss. I was part of Project Gateborn." Aaron's heart skipped. He knew that name. It was one of the earliest human projects into interdimensional research, supposedly destroyed centuries ago. That project was banned. It caused the first energy rift on Mars. Voss nodded. "Yes, but what they never told you was that it worked. We opened the first gate, and what came through changed us forever." He walked closer, his voice calm but hollow. "Humanity didn't just discover the demons. We created the first ones. The aliens you call enemies were witnesses. They sealed the gate we opened. They tried to contain what your kind unleashed." The soldiers shifted nervously. The aliens around the chamber remained motionless, their dark eyes fixed on the humans. General Brooks narrowed her eyes. "If that's true, why are they attacking Earth now?" Voss looked at the spinning black sphere. "Because the seal is breaking again, and they believe the only way to stop it is to erase all human life." The chamber shook suddenly. The sphere flared bright red, sending waves of energy across the floor. Aaron's scanner went wild. "It's unstable," he shouted. "It's going to open another gate." Voss raised his hand. "It cannot be stopped. The universe demands balance. You opened it once. It must open again." Brooks stepped forward. "No, we decide our fate, not some mistake from the past." The aliens reacted instantly, moving toward her, but the human soldiers opened fire. Plasma rounds burned through the room, striking alien armor. The walls screamed, echoing with strange sounds like the tower itself was alive. Aaron ran to the control console, his hands flying over the symbols. He tried to find a way to shut the sphere down. Voss grabbed his arm. "You can't control it," he said. Aaron looked him in the eye. "Maybe you couldn't, but I'm not you." He rerouted the ship's old power core still inside his backpack and linked it to the console. Energy surged. The black sphere flickered, its glow fading for a moment. The aliens screamed in pain as the red light weakened. General Brooks shouted, "Now, keep pushing it back." The team poured all their weapon fire into the sphere's base. The room shook violently. The aliens began to retreat, pulling Voss with them. As he disappeared into the shadows, his final words echoed through the chamber. "You can delay it, but you cannot stop what you began. The demons were born from your fear, and fear never dies." With one final surge, the sphere exploded in a storm of light. The blast threw everyone back. When the dust settled, half the chamber was gone. The tower was collapsing. Brooks pulled Aaron to his feet. "Move." They ran down the collapsing corridors as fire and debris rained from above. Outside, the sky split open again. Red lightning struck the ground, and massive rifts began forming. The gate was not closed, it was awakening. Aaron looked up at the storm, realizing what Voss meant. The energy was not coming from the tower anymore. It was coming from something beneath the planet. General Brooks watched the cracks spreading across the horizon. "Then we go deeper," she said. "If the heart of this curse is below us, we'll find it." The soldiers nodded. The ground trembled again, louder this time. Far away, the silhouette of a new shape rose from the earth, something huge, ancient, and alive. As the humans stared in awe, the dark planet began to roar. The ground opened like a wound, swallowing dust and fire. From the cracks, a deep roar echoed across the dark planet. The Eden Spear survivors watched in silence as the earth beneath the tower began to move. It wasn't just a building anymore. It was alive. General Elena Brooks gripped her weapon and stared at the horizon. "That thing. It's waking up." Aaron Malik checked his scanner, but the readings were useless. The numbers on the screen spun wildly before the device overheated and died. He looked up. "It's not just energy, General. It's consciousness. The planet itself is alive." They watched as the surface split apart, revealing enormous structures buried under the soil enchant machines fused with alien bones. Rivers of red light flowed between them, pulsing like blood through veins. The ruins stretched for miles, forming a massive circular pattern around the tower's base. "This isn't just a world," Aaron whispered. "It's a prison." The ground trembled again. From beneath the red light, a voice thundered, not through sound, but directly inside their minds. It spoke in broken human words. "Children of the first fire, you have returned." The soldiers fell to their knees, clutching their heads. The voice felt like a storm inside their skulls. Brooks shouted over the noise, "Stand your ground." A shadow rose from the center of the ruins, taller than mountains, made of smoke, fire, and black stone. Its eyes burned like twin suns. Every time it moved, the air rippled like waves. The demons crawling across the land stopped fighting and bowed to it. Aaron realized the truth. That's the source. The first demon. The origin of them all. The creature looked down at them. "Your kind made me. Your fear gave me form. You called me a god. And when you forgot, I waited." General Brooks raised her weapon even though it felt useless. "If you're waiting for us to kneel, keep waiting." The ground cracked beneath her feet as the creature's laughter filled the sky. "You cannot kill what lives inside you." Aaron's mind raced. He remembered what Voss said, that demons fed on human fear. If that was true, then maybe this thing's power depended on them. He turned to Brooks. "General, it's not about fighting it. We have to stop feeding it." Brooks frowned. "Explain." "Every time we fear it, every time we believe it's stronger than us, we make it stronger. But if we show it what humanity really is, courage, unity, it will lose power. Just like before on Earth." Brooks nodded slowly. "Then let's remind this thing who we are." She opened the team's comm system and spoke to every remaining human base still alive on the network. Her voice carried across the static. "This is General Elena Brooks of Earth Resistance. The enemy thinks we're afraid. They believe we'll hide. But humanity doesn't hide. We fight. No matter how dark it gets, we stand." Her voice echoed across every survivor camp, every underground base, every ship still orbiting the planet. The response came like thunder. People shouted, cheered, and began transmitting signals of defiance songs. Messages, the sound of laughter and hope. Aaron felt the ground shifting again. The giant's flames dimmed slightly. The red glow weakened. "It's working," he shouted. The creature roared, shaking the planet. "You cannot silence me." Brooks raised her rifle. "Watch us." She fired, and the plasma beam struck its chest. The soldiers joined her, unleashing a storm of blue light. The sky burned as the creature howled. The ground split further, and streams of black smoke poured upward. The energy readings dropped sharply. Aaron ran to a nearby console connected to the alien machines buried in the ground. "I can reroute the energies. Send it back into the core. It'll collapse the planet." Brooks didn't hesitate. "Do it." He linked his device to the alien network. Warnings flashed in every language. The planet screamed again, its voice filled with rage. You destroy yourselves trying to destroy me. Aaron gritted his teeth. That's what humans do best. He hit the command. The light around the ruins turned from red to blue. The entire world began to shake violently. Cracks spread across the sky itself. The demon giant stumbled, its body breaking apart into shards of dark energy. Brooke shouted, "Fall back!" Everyone to the ship. They ran through collapsing tunnels as fire chased them. Behind them, the tower exploded, sending a beam of blue light shooting into space. The creature's final scream echoed until it vanished into silence. When they reached the surface, the planet was tearing itself apart. Mountains crumbled, and rivers of lava swallowed the horizon. The surviving ship systems came back online. Brooks and Aaron boarded the damaged Eden Spear. As the engines ignited, Aaron looked back one last time. We did it. Brooks shook her head. Not yet. That thing might be gone, but the gate's still open. In the distance, high above the dying planet, a massive red crack hung in the sky. Leading somewhere beyond time and space, Brooks took a deep breath. Then we finished this. The Eden Spear lifted off, leaving behind the crumbling world. They were heading straight into the red light, into the heart of the final war. The Eden Spear rose through the burning sky, flying straight toward the red crack that tore across space. Behind them, the planet was collapsing into fire and ash. The crew could see mountains sinking, oceans turning into rivers of lava, and the demon army vanishing into dust. But even as the world died, the red gate above them grew wider, alive and hungry. General Elena Brooks stood on the bridge, her armor scorched, her face lit by the blood-red light. "If we don't close that gate," she said quietly, "this won't end. It'll swallow everything." Aaron Malik worked frantically at his console. The ship's systems were damaged, shields nearly gone, but he found one last hope, the fusion core. If they overloaded it inside the gate, it might collapse the rift. But there was a problem. The process couldn't be done remotely. Someone had to stay behind to trigger it. Aaron looked at the readings, then at Brooks. "It'll work. But someone has to do it manually." Brooks didn't blink. "Then I'll do it." Aaron shook his head. "You're the commander. Humanity needs you alive." Brooks looked at him firmly. "Humanity needs survivors who can rebuild, not a soldier who only knows how to fight." Aaron didn't argue further. Outside, lightning cracked across the red sky as the ship entered the gate. The view changed instantly. They were no longer in space. They were inside a storm of floating ruins, glowing symbols and swirling darkness. It looked endless, like being inside a living mind. At the center of this chaos floated a single shape, a massive sphere of light and shadow. It pulsed slowly, each beat echoing like a heartbeat through the ship. Aaron realized it wasn't just energy. It was consciousness, the heart of the gate itself. Brooks stared at it. That's what they all came from. The demons, the aliens, everything. "It's alive." The ship shook violently. The voice returned, deeper and colder than before. "You cannot end me. I am every fear your kind has ever known." Aaron stepped forward. "Then hear this. Fear only controls those who run from it. And we don't run anymore." He activated the fusion sequence. The ship's lights turned blue. The engines roared as energy built up in the core. The voice screamed through their minds, trying to break them, showing flashes of fire, war, and death. But Brooks closed her eyes and focused on one image, Earth shining blue and alive. She opened her eyes and spoke calmly. "You brought demons. We brought humanity. Let's see which lasts longer." The ship dived straight toward the heart of the gate. Every alarm screamed. The walls shook as reality itself bent around them. Aaron stayed at the console, guiding the energy flow. Brooks stood beside him, ready to trigger the manual detonation. "On my mark," Aaron said. 3, 2. Before he finished, a bright flash filled the bridge. A familiar voice echoed through the radio, Dr. Adrian Voss. "You can't destroy it. You'll only send it somewhere else. Contain it, or you'll tear the universe apart." Brooks frowned. "What do you mean, contain it?" Voss's voice was weak, but urgent. "The core. Redirect it. Don't destroy the gate. Absorb it. Let humanity carry the burden." Only your kind can hold it back. Aaron hesitated. If we absorb it, the ship won't survive. Brooks looked at him. Then we don't survive. But Earth will. Aaron's hands trembled as he changed the sequence. The ship's systems began drawing the red energy inside instead of exploding it outward. The gate screamed like a living thing. The hull glowed white-hot. The crew shouted as power surged through every circuit. The Eden Spear became a light brighter than the sun. The red gate began to shrink, folding inward until it vanished completely. Silence followed. No fire, no storm, only darkness. When the light faded, space returned to normal. Earth's moon shone far away, safe and untouched. The gate was gone. But the Eden Spear was nowhere to be seen. Weeks later, fragments of the ship were found drifting near Jupiter. There were no bodies, no signals, just faint traces of blue energy, the same energy that once belonged to the demons. Scientists called it the human flame. It was harmless, but alive. As if carrying something within it, people on Earth began to dream again, strange dreams of red skies fading into blue. Some said they could hear a voice whispering through the wind. It was calm, strong, and human. We're still here. Humanity rebuilt. The ashes of war became the soil of a new age. Statues of General Brooks and Aaron Malik stood in every city, with one line written below: when aliens brought demons, humanity brought light. And in the cold darkness of space, far beyond human reach, a faint blue glow still drifted, the last spark of the Eden Spear. Guarding the universe against the return of fear?